Andy Cook, and he is the founder and CEO of Marshall-James. He is here to share his expertise with us. So tell us, Andy, how effective was the strike over the weekend and continues today?
It depends who you listen to, really. The union are claiming that it was very well supported, and BA management are claiming that there were many people that went into work despite the strike. And we'll never really know the true numbers because actually they're both engaged in a battle of words and a PR war, trying to claim the upper hand on the other. So it's difficult. I think that probably what we can all say is that there are no real winners in this, particularly the fare-paying passengers who seem to be the losers because they're not able to take their journeys, complete their journeys, etc., and be where they want to be.
But can we not say that after this weekend, this first round of industrial action, that somebody's in a stronger position here? I mean, if BA is right, people came into work, they didn't strike, some people, and they were able to reinstate some flights, that could potentially put it in a stronger position, couldn't it?
It could do, yeah. And the more people that break the strike, the better for the company. And it does weaken the union's position. But, of course, the union will never let us know that because they realise that that does put them in a far weaker position. But, yes, in theory, more people that break the strike, the better for the company.
But this is actually the tactic of BA management, isn't it? I mean, the more they dig their heels, the more members of the union capitulate, give up, come to work, and they start to break the back of the union.
Well, I think so, and one of the main things is that when they're on strike, then they get paid. So there's an economic thing here, which is the more time they take out, the less money they get. And so from the company's position, you have to think, well, 3 days off is 3 days where they don't get paid.
Yeah, but surely that's outweighed by the loss in customers and people flying with them.
Yeah, of course it is. But at the same time, that's where it hits the cabin crew the hardest. If they're on strike, they don't get paid. And so that may well have an impact on whether people go to work or not.
What about this question, BA withdrawing the perks of those people that strike? Is that likely to be something that helps BA's position?
I think so. It will certainly focus the mind. So they lose their perks, they lose their ability to travel, and also they lose their pay. It starts to hurt really hard. But ultimately, this strike has got to be resolved. And so what happens when they all go back to work is going to be the key. How do they resolve this? How do they get a breakthrough, which means that the strike is able to finish and not finish in an acrimonious way? Because all the other employees at BA who aren't cabin crew have taken pay cuts, have voluntarily worked for free.
Right.
The cabin crew haven't done so, and so there's going to be a degree of ill feeling, I think, from other parts of BA's employees towards the cabin crew, and that's going to be a difficult thing to manage.
Let's talk about Unite. Let's be fair about Unite for a moment, because they are simply upset, aren't they, that BA started to push through changes. They said they consulted Unite a year ago, this all began. They didn't really consult them. They said, we're going to make these changes, and they're non-negotiable. Unite just wants to play a part in sort of paving the way. Yeah,
well, Unite's big thing is to try to protect people's terms and conditions of employment. But they're the biggest trade union in the country. They've got the largest membership group at Heathrow, so industrially they're very strong, and they'll know that. And any attack on terms and conditions will put them in a bad light, particularly if the management gets away with it, because people at the end of the day will say, well, what's the point of me being a member if you can't protect my terms and conditions? So they'll be really thinking to themselves very, very hard about any impact that changes that they agree has on their reputation.
Very, very quickly, what's the chance that we're going to get a resolution before next weekend's strike, would you say?
Well, you'd say, thinking as what's happened over the weekend, it's pretty slim. They're going to be talking with the TUC, I think, if they go back to talks, and the TUC are very good at trying to find common ground and facilitating a resolution.
Thanks so much, Andy Cook, CEO of Marshall-James.